love you more. I mean, I'm just gonna tell you right now, I love you, TikTok. I love you more. You're my boyfriend. Like TikTok in general is my boyfriend. That's how I'll deal with my. That's how Angela dates. Who's Angela dating? TikTok. What are you doing? And that came up with 69 people. Ah! Every time I think of dating, I see the number 69. Inappropriate today. So listen. Okay, we're lives on there. Let's get me some YouTube. YouTube, you're just not. Your TikTok is prettier than you are. I mean, really. You know when you're like speed dating, TikTok would win like real fast. Hey y'all, how are you? Hey, good morning, sexy TikTok. Hi, how are you today? I'm like, forget you, YouTube. I don't like you no more. I'm not just kidding. I have to do review videos on YouTube, and I just started. You know what I started doing the review videos on? Yoga, because I can't stand yoga. I have like a yoga. This is Fiona. Hello, darling. She's beautiful. She's Fiona. Yeah, I'll work on my, what is that? Ventriloquist. Hello, I'm Fiona. Hello, I'm Fiona. Fiona. Hello. She's so beautiful. She doesn't love me like Clyde Half-Ass. Now this is Clyde Half-Ass. He's real different. Clyde Half-Ass is Clyde Half-Ass. And he loves me. He's like all the boys in their 20s. He's obsessed. He just can't get enough of me. It's mutual, baby. It's mutual. Clyde is my baby. I love me some Clyde. He just loves me. Good morning, YouTube. I see you. And I'm recording on there and I'm recording on here. And just for the record, just like I'll always tell you the truth. You can ask me anything. I love TikTok more. I mean, I love TikTok more. I'm sorry. I mean, I do. Hey, but YouTube, we're going to figure you out. We are going to figure YouTube out, okay? We're not going to break up with YouTube. We're going to keep it like on the side. You know how you have a reserve lover when you quit judging. Quit. So it's okay. We need to get you on Rumble. Oh God, another one. I do have a Rumble, y'all, and I certainly need a Rumble with the things that I say. What? Yes, because you get like canceled and shut out, and like the things that I'm talking about, like organized perpetrators and stuff. I should be on Rumble. I do have a Rumble. I just don't fill it. Just like I do have a dating dance card. I just don't fill it because it's okay. So hey y'all, I'm gonna move so I can see your comments. I won't be able to see your hearts or anything. So I mean, I like it when you encourage me. Do hearts and things. And hey, other camera, I have a new camera for YouTube. I'm trying over there. I got a mic. So today, hey, where did you get the Sarah Jessica Parker wait, what? Sarah Jessica Parker Muppet? These are folk manus puppets, not Muppets. And I don't know about Sarah Jessica Parker. Who, why, where? This is Clyde Half-Ass. And Sandra named him because he's got half-ass. He ain't got no ass. He's got a puppet. He's Clyde Half-Ass. And he reminds you to just keep going and doing whatever you need to do, even if it's half-ass. Get your perfectionism, throw it in the trash and do it anyway, because Clyde does it. Oh God. Okay, listen. I have so many things to tell you and I have such a short amount of time, but you know what? We're going to do it. We're going to do it. Oh my God, Jerome. It was so fun. Listen, y'all, many people just are a bunch of talk and then don't do. Jerome showed up and went biking for 2 hours. Hell yeah. And got to meet Sean, aka Jesus, who I talk about all the time. We're just going to round out this. So Sean Gilder looks like Jesus. He's got long hair, handsome. He's the one in Nashville. The one in Nashville.com. He is also who makes Lute, LUTE.life. That is the elixir that is hemp, HEMP based, and it got me off of all pharma. So fun. And he also has Regenerate, y'all, that I've talked about. Guess what I have in my hand? Look, I got it. I got the Regenerate. And I just this morning put it on his site for him because I'm working with his assistants to help him as he goes wider, because this is going into mass production. And I just love this guy. So I try to take as much stress off of him as possible so that he can make more loot for us. This Regenerate, I'm today we're doing a workbook and I'm going to stay on task, but y'all, I got this and I tried it. I did it 3 times yesterday. I feel different. This thing is amazing. It's amazing. You've been off of ADHD meds for 9 days. Listen, Kitty, get this. I'm not even telling you. I get it. Just get it. Do it. It's the guy's a master. So what this is, this in my hot little hand. These are only 30 of these. There's only 30 of these. And Rondi, you're going to get yours. The people who bought yours, he's shipping them, I think, today. And I got mine. And this is it's called Regenerate. You can get it on loot.life or you can get it at the one in Nashville. And it is a multi-pronged total combination. He's like a chef, he put together magnesiums and blood simulators and GABA to get GABA to your brain really, really fast so that you heal the inner critic and remove the need for alcohol and benzos. But I'm not addicted to alcohol or benzos. I mean, I love me some boot. I love me some unicorn fart beers. But I wouldn't say that I'm a jonesing alcoholic and I've never taken benzos. But I said, there's got to be something in this since I have seen him transform the lives of alcoholics and benzo addicts. I've seen it in my own eyes, and it's like a month and then they're done. And I was like, this has to have the same qualities and the same healing for trauma survivors. Well, let me tell you, I believe that I am right, because I was like, it's the same neural pathways in your brain, right? So I took it yesterday and I videotaped it, the whole thing. I was like 10 minutes in, 5 minutes in, 18 minutes in. It's amazing. First of all, it does make you flush. It's like you'll feel this heat go across your whole body. And I got little red, it raised just on my arms. And I felt like little pricklies for a few minutes, about 10 minutes in. And then I had to dookie. And then I felt this hotness on my hands. That went away. And then there's this it's like a high without being high, or like a drunk feeling without being drunk. It's amazing. He's shipping them today, so you probably will get yours. Listen to me. And then this is what happened to me. I bet you I did it with 2 of my friends last night too, and they had the same. You get hot, and you're like, whoo, and then once that goes away, you may or may not dookie. One did, one didn't, and you feel this. There's this elevated awareness. There's this, it's kind of you're I was super aware and calm, so calm, calm. That's why it was high without being high, drunk without being drunk. But here's what it did for me: about 30 minutes, an hour in, and it lasted for many hours. And then I did it again, like booze, you just want another one. I did it again. I couldn't stop crying. I had this overwhelming feeling to cry. I took it again and I cried. And then I took it again late last night and I cried. I just had this boo-hoo, purging. And I went to Sean. I was like, is this me? Is this everybody has this? And he's like, wow, maybe you're right with this whole trauma survivor stuff. It purged something deep, something deep in me that I needed to get rid of or purge. And I literally had me a boo-hoo. And it was much like we're talking about this, right? So when we have been traumatized, the circle back for those of you who watch this daily, when you're dealing with removing the sword, it's usually anger or tears. And y'all, I mean, my eyes are puffy. I cried, and and I was like, what is this do to me? So I'm gonna get off of here afterwards, and I'm gonna take it again, and then I'll do a little video. Like, I wonder how long I take this and I cry, or does it always do that to me? I don't know, but it was very cathartic, very, very cathartic, and I'm like, this right. The guy's a master. He's on to something. Loot, like, got me off of all pharma. This got me crying. I mean, I don't know. Shit. Like, I had just this overwhelming feeling to cry. And it was you overslept. Good. Maybe you needed it, right? So today is on page 7. What are we doing? 74 to why? 70. Page 74. Yeah, 74 to 80. We're going to do it. 74 to 80, right? So for those of you who are new or don't know what we're talking about, I'm Angela Shelton. I am a filmmaker, a superhero for little kids and adults. I bring the fun and the funny in the face of all kinds of fears. Usually it's in the realm of domestic violence, sexual abuse as children, assault, like that kind of horrible fears. And I bring the fun and funny so that we can heal and that survivors become warriors, become reformers, because we're reforming things. And this is a workbook that I had a vision of. I'm a visionary, and I'm an artist and a filmmaker and writer. And I was on the road doing trauma work and speaking in the trauma-informed care world. And after I did my documentary, Searching for Angela Shelton, that led me to realize that this is like those child abuse and assault are like a total actual pandemic. Yeah. And that I had this vision, and that all of our trauma, because everybody's got something, like whether you witnessed it or whatever, is like being pierced with a sword. And you can live like that. You can live like that for the rest of your life. You're going to have a hard time at, having intimate relationships. It's hard to cuddle. It's hard to, live a life where you're not PO'd all the time. You know what I mean? And this also leads to health problems, chronic migraines, chronic body. So, right. I mean, you can see that. That's why this works so well. That's why it says on the front, this, depending on which workbook you have, there's quite a few versions. There's even another one coming out at the end of the year. It's the same workbook, different pictures. This one is a coloring book. This one is like a girl version or female version. Woman, please don't erase women, y'all. And then I also have a male version, and then there's a diverse version. But this particular one I think is my favorite, and the coloring book. I love the coloring book. So there's steps to the sword, right? So if trauma was like being pierced with a sword, step 1, acknowledge it. Like, oh yeah, me too. Step 2, removing it, which is all anger and sadness. It really is. I just saved you a bunch of money on all the therapies you're going through. You're welcome. Just have a good cry. Take some Regenerate. And you'll cry it out. You're welcome. Holy cow. Might not be the same for you. So you cry, you remove it, and then you heal the wound, which is the step we're on today. We're in that process, step 3, healing the wound, and then you have it. Step 4, you have it. And then you realize, like, oh, you can use your trauma to actually remove your trauma. Like, it's like a mind meld. And then step 5 is forget all this. Let's play. Yes, he did. You go to theoneinnashville.com, Tina. Theoneinnashville.com. And everything's changing. It's on there, and it's also on loot.life. But I'm working with his assistants to help him. So it's gonna be even more. Like, I'm putting my little filmmaker version on. I'm like, let's pretty this up. Okay? I'm like, can we pretty you up? You're so pretty. And so in the realm of play, like the step 5 that we'll get to by the end of the month is play. And then when you reclaim play, that is another layer of total healing. That's where I'm at, is play. Even if you cry all day. Look, Tina, look at it. Did I tell you about that? This is amazing. I've done it 3 times so far. Holy jeez. The guy's a master. So when we are healing from our trauma, step 3 on the workbook, and you can get these workbooks on my website. You can get them on Amazon. The printed ones I would really recommend that you get because you can actually write it down. And there's a downloadable PDF. It's like $9. Oh, he's like, please just, you give me $42. Woo! Where did it go? I love you, Johnny. So if you want to just download it, it's like $9 on my site just to get the PDF. If you don't have any money, you can watch all my videos on YouTube, or you can go to my app. It's free. I love Angela Shelton on Google, or on Google and Apple. It's like I'm erasing Apple from my brain. I don't know. It's weird. And I got a Google Pixel phone, and then I erased Apple from my brain. So weird. So anyway, you can get my app, I Love Angela Shelton, on Google or Apple for free. And the reason that's a free section, there's parts so you can pay for it if you would like. That's awesome to see all my movies and all kinds of stuff. But the reason I do this also for free is for the people who ain't got no money. You know what I mean? And that is traumatizing. So I don't want to be another layer of traumatizing just because of money. Like, you feel me? Because I've been there. I was raised in poverty. I get it. I get it. So I would rather share, which is not rather, I'm doing it. I'm sharing this for free on TikTok. I'm sharing it for free on YouTube and on my app because there are so many people in trauma. And it's like, that's my gift. That's my service work to provide these aha moments and these little, and these aha moments and escape routes, truly is what it is. It's like, so when you have like a aha moment or an escape route that can get you out of especially repeated generational trauma, to have you like step out of that, that's where we need to be. And yeah, because we're leveling up, we are mirrors for each other, and we're elevating and expanding like water. So I'm not you, you're not me. I'm providing like really great, as I hope, sometimes funny ways for you to get out of pain so that we can work together to help more people. And you help people simply by being yourself. You know what? She always goes to he. This is Tim. Oh, you're a trans Timmy today. He, she. What? You could do whatever you want, baby. The Google Pixel is so nice. I got to tell you, it's really fancy. Hey, Timothy. So Timothy, we have a sword in us. You know, we got trauma. You've been through some things that are rough. Probably 8 things. Have you? Stop going to my nose. Seriously, why do you always do that? You're like obsessed. Anyway, so stop. So, oh my God. So listen, you've been through trauma. Stop projecting it on other people. I'm going to ask Nashville if I would stop taking my regular multivitamin due to this regimen. Oh, you know, maybe that's a good thing to go on his live and ask him that. We can go live later and do some and have questions. I'm happy to do that because I'm here, and he's actually making more Regenerate because these are individually like concocted. Like this is gold right here. This is powder gold. I'm telling you right now. Okay, so that's just a layer of healing, right? So that's another layer of healing the wound. And where we are today is on page 74, 75. Ready? What are you addicted to? Like, hey, if it's alcohol or benzos, get this. Regenerate. So what are you addicted to? Sometimes we miss our sword. What are you saying, Johnny? You are diet 76 about me. Yeah, alcohol. So, okay, so what are you addicted to? Alcohol. Get on Regenerate like now. Do it now. It works. And sometimes we miss our sword. We miss our sword, right? Because good, Tina, I'm so glad. Then we'll be in his group. So once you buy, you can get in now or whatever or after you buy. When you go to the1innashville.com, he has a private group. When it says like join the club, that's his Mighty Networks. Like I have Rockstar Reformers. He has his group. His is free. Mine ain't free. His is free. So yay, we'll be in there together. We'll do it together. We can flush and poo poo together, not in the same room. We can talk about it. Okay. Yeah. So sometimes when you're healing, just like if you're going to get off alcohol or your addictions, you miss it. Just like when you've left the abusive dude or the crazy, or sorry, poisoned woman, you miss them. Sometimes you miss it. You miss the sword. So it's important to acknowledge that. I think it's really, really important to acknowledge that, because when we are in this whole, like, I'm done, I'm good, I'm going to leave all that, and don't acknowledge that we miss it. There was something about it that we liked it, right? It's that gives you power to move on to the next level when you can really admit, I kind of like it. See what I'm saying? So in the I'm missing my sword, sometimes you can miss it, especially if you had it for a long time. You can miss an abusive person. You can miss the negative thought patterns that in your head. And you can miss being on the floor. Like, believe me, I get the private messages from the people that are in trauma. And I just like, oh, thank you. They're like, look, he said he likes my nails. They're like little teeny ballerina shoes that are Easter eggs, all different colors. I mean, it's a new thing that I just started doing this. I'm a camper. I usually am always dirty. I don't do this all the time. I just figured out. And these are different colors. Every one of them is different. Different. Like all of us. We're different like all of us. But we all are part of the one. You know what I'm saying? Yay. But many times we let our pain take precedence over our purpose. And I'm here to tell you that your purpose in life and what you're meant to do here is more important than your pain. More important than your pain. So on this stage of this workbook is writing a goodbye letter. You ready? Write it. I know these letters, sometimes they're so dumb. I'm like, whatever. Self-love, self-care, blah. But you're going to write a goodbye letter to your pain. It's weird. I know. Thank it for serving you and wish it well. You will feel, I'm going to cry. I'm going to cry. I'm going to drink this. I'm going to cry. Wish it well. Thank it for serving you and wish it well. Because when we had the pain, when we had like the painful relationship, the painful dad, the painful mom, the whatever, the addiction, there's something about it that is familiar / comforting. It's not really comforting. It's just familiar. And it has served us in a way. Like, so the way that our ego and our brain can keep us away from repeated trauma is by keeping us away from people, right? So it's like, okay, I see you. I see that you did that in order to protect me, because you're actually trying to protect me and save me, even though you're in my notes. So I get it. I appreciate you. Thank you. You can leave now. So that's a really good, like a goodbye letter to your pain and suffering. Like, I see you, thank you. So what does that mean? How do you see it? Like, dear pain and suffering. Like, I was just thinking about it this morning and last night, and I cried. This is Angela Shelton's cry powder right here. I miss all my psycho relationships. Right. That's what I feel you. And I just want you to put this on for size. Okay. So a breakup, right? You're just like, many times with our breakup, we can say, I hated them already. Like, I never liked their feet, or they did that one thing. And then you can get together with all your friends and, how's your octopus breathing right now? You can get together with all your friends and commiserate with, like, oh, well, they never did that one thing. I knew it when. I knew it. I knew that when. And I just, with a breakup now, I had this, I had this complete catharsis, like a whole, like, aha moment, very much in line with writing a goodbye letter to your suffering. Is like, I love you. I'm going to remember I'm going to cry. I'm going to remember all the good things. Like, you're like, Angela's crying. Oh my God. My emotions are like here after taking this. And I think it's purging. It's purging a lot of stuff. Whew. So it's like, whoo, girl, we all got our stuff, right? So it's like a breakup. Like, I'm gonna remember all the good things. I'm like, you know what? You served me because I love all of the ups and downs. I love it when you fell on your face and you hit your, you know what I mean? I love it when you tripped and fell again. Thank you for showing me that pathway by tripping and falling on your face. Thank you for all of the, like, you know what I mean? Like, thank you. Like, thank you for the heart. Man. Well, Sean, who I call Jesus, he's seen me like this because I'm like, dude, what is in this? Um, and he brought up something because he's a big yoga man. He's like, just keep breathing and just feel it and just feel the emotion and let it go. Kind of like writing seriously, could you imagine? I just start here breathing and crying and and then they start reporting me on TikTok. All she does is sit there and breathe and cry and drink milk. Oh God. It's so funny. So that's a very nice stay. Like, I wish I could give you a hug, she says. But the thing is like, I would not want a hug right now. I'd be like, don't you fucking touch me. Not because of you, but just like when you're in that catharsis place, like a lot of times when you do like circle healing, I don't know if I've done all the kinds of healing techniques, that the rule is that you don't do that. You don't like go to somebody and like, oh, let me take it on, because that's your own stuff. Like to be a space for somebody to purge. You know what I mean? So it's like, because we just like, oh, wait, let me give you a hug. Let me help it. It's like, well, no, it's like, actually, you just be there to purge it. Cause this is some heavy, heavy stuff that we let go of. It's heavy when you're talking about child sexual abuse and domestic violence and repeated generational trauma. Did you know that that I will start going live with a couple of people that I really respect and love that are all about wound healing, womb healing, and scientifically, like, this is actually true, that you are actually connected to your mom, to your grandmother, in just like I'm connected to my daughter and the daughters she will have, or the boys, whatever. I don't mean to say that. The humans, you're actually connected to everyone, and you can shift generational trauma just by doing your own healing. Right? It's like long distance sex. And so I say, when you say, I want to reach out and give you a hug, do that for yourself. Like, I'm like, I want to fix it for you. I want to hold you. I want to help you. And it's like, do that for yourself. Oh my God, a little bird just showed up at the window. It was like, telling you, animals have this thing. Right, Timothy? Even if you get all up in my nose. I love you. So the purging of such a sweet little bird right now is just like, so purging the pain and writing a letter to the pain is so cathartic. And to, like, for example, I did one for a breakup because I was, nothing wrong with birds. I know birds. Jerome's got birds. Think of it like this, and I'll share my own, and I'm very emotional about it, obviously. But like, take biggest love of my life, okay? Biggest love of my life, and there's a breakup, right? And instead of, I knew it, what our usual thing that we do is guilty, and also I'm sure everyone else is guilty, that you commiserate, like, I knew it. I never liked him. Or your friends will be like, I knew it then. I knew it now. I know, blah, blah. And instead of going there, like I say, go back to where you first fell in love and that you first like got addicted in the first place, or if you want to use that word, and go with that love. Does that make sense? Like, I'm like, even though we're not together anymore, and this applies to pain too, even though I'm not together with my self-abuse, like, because I used to beat the hell out of myself, I love that part of me. You know what? You were doing that to survive, right? I'm so glad you didn't kill yourself. Do you hear that? It's weird. That's like my computer telling me it needs to be replaced. So I love all the parts. Like, for example, I'll take my biggest love. Like, I love that man. Like, I love that man. So I want him to find the biggest love of his life. I want him to dance like a crazy fool, even more and bigger and wider. I want to see that gorgeous smile of his happen all day long. I want the best for him. And even though I won't get to see it, but I want to see it. Like that, my sadness is because I want to witness it. But like, I don't want to witness it because I mean, I do want to witness it, but it's not. My point is loving the love bigger instead of going to hate or vengeance or revenge. Does that make sense? Like, so instead of like, oh my God, I can't stand them, or a friend, even like a friend that has fallen out. Like we had that. Anybody had that where you're just like, you were besties and then all of a sudden it's gone. Instead of, I knew it, you know, I hated them all along. I ain't like their hair. I knew that one sign. When they did the one sign, I knew that it was going to happen. So instead of all that, because that just repeats trauma and repeats our, yeah, I love it when the sword comes out. Yes. So I'm just offering that to you as an exercise because I've done it myself and it really does work. So for a feeling over your body, and it's sad because we're attached and addicted to things that don't serve us well. That doesn't mean we can't love it. I mean, for you who are addicted to alcohol, write a love letter to that great bottle. You know, when you love something and you love the bottle, it's like, I love that bottle. I love the way it sparkles. I love the way like it feels. I love going to the store to get that certain bottle. You know what I'm saying? Like, thank you. Thank you for all those beautiful moments. Thank you for that. Me personally with alcohol, like in Italy or in France, drinking like best wine ever. Like, wait, don't go poor me. Don't go to poor me. Go to yeah you. That is you said it. Don't go to oh poor me. I'm sad because I'm missing you. Go to yeah you. That's exactly it. Because that is a mirror. You're being a mirror for God. I'm gonna say it. That's why I say like be more selfish, because if you are, as you are, a divine spark of God and spirit and the great infinite, you are beautiful and awesome, and I'm going to reflect that back to you, even if there's pain. Like, so be more, so if that's yourself, if yourself is not, if since it is yourself of a piece of divine spark of spirit, then love that up, like be more self-ish, right? So that is love. Yeah, I know. That is love. You know, that's also probably what made me cry. I think as I deep dive into it, because I'm like, I don't wish any bad on you at all. I love you. I hope that you. And I was like, you know what that is? That's the definition of actually loving someone. Oh God. Like, and you might love something that's not good for you, you know? So instead of hate, you know, I'm going to hate and you can apply it to you. Okay. So you can apply it to you that is getting off of alcohol with Regenerate. You're welcome. You can apply it to like, oh, I hate all that. I hate the, drunken moments, you know, I hate the hangovers. And you can apply it to your relationships too. I hate it when they didn't call, or I hate it when they upset me that time. I'm just offering you instead of that, switch it to the love. Does that make sense? And saying, dear pain, just have to take a chance. Yeah. Poor me says, maybe I'm not a piece of divine spirit. Back to bed. I go, yay me. Well, you can do all that. And I mean, you can say all the negative thought patterns because we'll get into that. That's the next page. Look, replace your negative thought patterns. Stay. Um, I'm going to tell you right now, I told you in the beginning, I love you and I'm here to be a supportive person and reflect it back. But I'm also a drill sergeant because I'm also like, ain't nobody got time for that shit. You don't have time. You're wasting time. And you can waste all the time you want. And you can stay in the repeated pattern and keep doing to yourself what the perpetrators did to you. But that is wasting time. And so it's like, soldier, get your boots on. You can lay on the floor and cry about it all you want and write a dear letter to the pain and suffering. Write a letter to all of this BS. You know what I mean? You self-sabotage for 35 years, kitty, right? It's like, so for the youngins, God dang, do it faster. Don't do it 35 years. Like, don't do it 20 years. I stopped dancing like a fool 10 years, 6 months, 3 months, 2 months, whatever it was, because of something somebody said. Like, it's just like, oh my God. And I get real impatient and irritated personally with people who repeat negative thought patterns about themselves, because I also did it. And and you're only annoyed by what you also do. Right. So it's like, don't wallow it's like, and then when you're out, like, so I'm not literally annoyed with you because I have passed that phase. I just see it. I see it clear as day. And I'm like, girl, you're wasting time. You're welcome. You can do that all you want. That is your choice. That is your choice. And get on with it. If you're going to just wallow in the negative thought, oh, me, I'm not even a divine person. I ain't nothing. Nobody loves me. Nobody's going to pick me. You need to get more selfish, in my opinion, and get into the God side of it. Because when you are selfish, you're fully God-ish. I know people are, no, you're not. Yes, you are. So how about a dear negative thought patterns? You served me. Thank you so much for wasting all my time. You know what? Thank you for laying me on the floor for all that time. Because that's funny. Because you made me write that song. Thank you for that heartbreak. Thank you for that heartbreak, because you actually led me to writing my book. Thank you for that heartbreak, because you led me to a bigger love. And you can write that as if it's already happened. That's a whole manifesting trick. Like, you're writing it as if it's happening, but you have it already. Like, that's the key to manifesting, is you feel it. You feel what you want now, even though it makes no sense. Feeling sorry for yourself is the worst. Hey, Heath. Well, it's like, it's boring and it's a waste of time. There, I said it. I've done a ton of this work. I've done this whole, I've done this process many, many times. And I've done you pick it, from the circles to the gongs over your vajayjay, to heal old wounds, to marching up a mountain, to cold plunges. I've tried it all. All of it boils down to what you're saying to yourself in your head. Yeah, I just did that. Just nasty. Y'all, judge all you want. Write a letter about it. It is raw milk, y'all. Don't shop in these grocery stores ever again, in my opinion. Anyway, so you got a new book, right? I have a bunch of new stuff coming out, and I have a show that I'm doing in London, which is pretty much all the stuff I've ever talked about, but done in a funny, wild show that it is interactive, and really, it's a show about you. Shh! Don't tell anybody, or tell everybody. So, writing a letter to your pain and suffering. Can you wrap your head around that? Like, and the thing is these letters and things, and this whole workbook stuff. I personally, have I have always had an issue with it. I'm like, whatever, freaking fill out the workbook. Can I do it in my voice recorder? I ain't gonna do this. Hell, I'm not gonna hang the pictures in my house that are like, you're pretty. It's just not me. It doesn't resonate with me. But I'm telling you that it works. I'm talking to myself when you actually write it down and also do a version. When you write it with your non-dominant hand. Sometimes if you're feeling like you don't know what to say or you don't know, hi, YouTube is suffering. I'm going back to TikTok. I love you, Heath. That's awesome. I told you in the beginning, TikTok is my real love. I'm not leaving YouTube. I'm gonna be there for YouTube, and I'm gonna do some more review videos about yoga that I can't stand. And speaking of the can't stand it, the whole workbooky thing and the writing it thing, even though I wrote this workbook, I personally am like, yeah, yawn. Like, oh brother. I've been accused many, many times of thinking like a guy. That's why I have so many guy friends. They're like, God, you're like a dude. And I am. It's true. I'm like, what the hell? Why do I have to write this letter? And I'm telling you, it works. And especially when you're in that phase where you're like, oh my gosh, I remember when I came across, yay, Mindy, hi. So when you are, when you write it and you write these answers down and especially when you have like I don't like this, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. If you'll write it in your non-dominant hand. So if you're right-handed, write it with your left. If you're left-handed, write it with your right. And your subconscious will help you bring out, because we talked about yesterday, like, you know the answers to all of your questions already. You don't need nobody else. You already know the answers to your questions. You're just not listening to yourself. And by writing down and also writing with your non-dominant hand, you can get into the practice of listening to yourself. You're welcome. Goodbye. PayPal me. Give love at Angela Shelton. You're welcome. Seriously. All right. Did Stay leave? That's really funny. Guys, we will hold on to our pain. Hold on to it. And this is what's wild is you can give. That puts me as a sidekick, dude. Hey, dude. Hey. So, you know how, or I'm gonna tell you right now, if you provide awareness and light and total healing and life change on a silver platter and you hand it to some people right here, right now for free, here it is. They are going to hurt you, hit you, knock that tray over, tell you to go F yourself. I don't want no part of it. But if you provide them with another platter that says pain and suffering on a payment plan for the rest of your life, or total awareness and healing right now for free, payment plan of pain and suffering. Sadly, I'm going to tell you, most people are going to take the payment plan for pain and suffering. Ask me why that makes any sense. I don't know. Yeah, it's because we are raised by wolves, because we're in an addiction society, because we are being perped upon by everyone. And perpetrators that are organized have systematically poisoned our food, our media, our minds, our air. Right. So if you're given an escape route and a golden key to life change, or a key to your cage, it baffles my mind. I don't understand it, but people will choose the cage and people will choose the pain. And I'm like, what? And it's because many people live in their pain over their purpose. And they're like, who am I? Who am I to do that? Who am I to write my book? Who cares? And I'll tell you right now, who does care? Ain't nobody caring. Nobody cares. And the perpetrators that are organized that have poisoned us really don't care. And most people are put into the 80%. It's like there's 80% of people who are sheep and 20% of people that are doing thank you, Heath, who are doing the work for the 80%. Some people say it's 75%. I'm doing math in my head, 20%. And then there's 5% that are the ones that everybody wants to like suck on because they've got the super God energy and the super, and then there's the 20% who are the workers. And then there's the 80% that are just sheep who will take the key to the cage. And I'm telling you, I love the 80%. Those are my, that's my family. And though I am not in the 80%, but I love them, and I'm not going to be like, oh yeah, how do you manipulate the 80%? How do you manipulate people and like keep them stunted? That's what everybody else is doing. And I'm here to tell you, hey, you don't have to buy the lie. In fact, many of the people that are in the 80% are far more happy and more centered than the rest of them. And I believe that healing and awareness and God miracle could happen with anybody, and it comes down to what you're saying to yourself in your head. Jesus was a sheep turned lion, right? I mean, seriously, yeah, exactly. Like, well, he wasn't a sheep. I mean, seriously, but neither are we. We're just told that. You're just told that. And when you're told that, and you were born into it, and told it, and told it, and told it, and then poisoned in your food, so then you're like you're poisoned. So you got to be unpoisoned. You got to get unpoisoned in your mind and your food. You got to literally, like, step one. If anybody knows anything about me, I repeat myself all the time, and I do that for a reason. But I did the science fair project when I was 12, and I showed you the poison that's put in our food is intentionally put there, that makes you sick. And then when you go to the doctor and you get sick, you're put on a series of medications. Sometimes it starts with one pill, and by the time you die, you're going to be on 24 pills. The same people who give you that are the same people who put it in your food. The same people who give you the cure are the same people who gave you the poison. So I'm like, hi, did anybody paying any attention? And so when you get out of that, which just means you have to leave the box, you have to actually leave, you have to stop poisoning yourself. So when people that are stuck in pain, that are stuck in like, oh, ain't no daddy, I can't do it. First thing I'll do is, how poisoned are you? Stop poisoning yourself first. Stop poisoning yourself. And then you get clear in your mind. Hard to get clear in your mind when you're eating poison. Step one, don't eat any colors. The red 50, the yellow 5, or whatever, and blue 40, or whatever they are, yellow, blue, red. Stop eating them. And they're in everything. Just read the ingredients. Stop eating colors. Just stop eating colors. And if you can't read it, if you can't pronounce it, don't eat it. And so that's step one as far as your body. And then your mind, every single healing technique. So, every single healing technique there is, all of them, the 25 years you're going to spend talking to the therapist on the thing, all of the healing techniques I've done, like you go to the blah, 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 you go, whatever, you can pick anything. It is changing the way what you're saying to yourself in your head. So in our workbook that we're doing, there was one early on page where you had to write down every negative thought pattern you have. Because I have the same. The reason I'm like a drill sergeant for people like Stay are because I've been there. Because anybody who tries to beat me up or like tell me I'm a piece of crap or like treat me like crap will never win over how badly I can also do it to myself. I will always beat you. So I'm like, oh, okay. Oh, you're trying to tell me something bad about myself? Okay. Winner. I'm a winner chicken dinner over here. And so I can do it way better than you. How could I be a good speaker? Interesting. Speak. Just speak your truth. Speak your truth. Well, and replace your negative thought patterns. So here, ready? Now is the time. Today, Friday, right now. Now's the time to replace old negative thought patterns with positive self-care and self-love. I personally, me, Angela, self-care and self-love seem very fluffy to me. It seems like a cotton candy. I'm just like, what resonates with me is body, mind, spirit maintenance. When I hear it like that, like I said, I kind of think like a dude. I'm like, okay, and I've been following guys a lot. Like that's why I'm also friends with Sean, who looks like Jesus, is because I've been monitoring what he does with his time, and a bunch of other men, because I went after the men that I would also like, like, so I'm attracted to, but they've got their bodies on, their minds on, their finances on, their businesses, and they're awesome, and they're doing the work. I've been following quite a few of them. Sean is my favorite, and he's become a really good friend of mine. And this is what I want to know. How the hell did you do that? Because I also have all businesses and I'm awesome and I look good and I'm doing good work. But I'm like, but I am a hot mess on so many levels. Am I right? Anybody feel me? Like you're like, how'd you do that? I'm literally like, what are you doing with your time? And what are you eating? That's what I want to know. What are you putting in your mouth and what are you doing with your time? And all of these great men that I have been like really good men following, they are uh, eating meat, grass-fed meat. They're drinking raw milk. They're eating liver. They're practicing yoga. Swear to God, I need help on that, y'all. I need you to hold my hand through me doing yoga. And they're all pretty much not drinking. One of them like drinks with his wife wine, but it's not every day at all. And yeah, liver, meat, milk, and they are intentionally have great mindsets about themselves. And it's like, wow, thank you. Thank you, Jerome. You're awesome. So write down all the things that are opposite. So this is one of those times where you go back to the workbook. And if you didn't do that part, which you probably didn't, I'm calling you out. Now is the time to like literally just, okay. So stay was a perfect example. She didn't stay. Oh my God. So funny. So write down all the negative thought patterns. Like, I'm a piece of crap. I ain't nothing. Nobody would want me. I'm not even a divine spark of spirit. Right. The opposite. But literally the opposite. So for example, mine for years was I'm ugly piece of crap. Meanwhile, I was a model and on the covers of magazines and doing runways all over the world. And I'm obviously not an ugly piece of crap, but it doesn't matter because it's all based on what you're saying to yourself in your head, right? And so I was like, well, how do I switch? I'm an ugly piece of crap, damaged goods, stupid idiot. That was mine. You stupid idiot, ugly piece of crap, right? So obviously that's not true. But if you keep saying it, you can, this becomes a magnet, right? This becomes a magnet and you are gonna attract it. You're gonna pull it to you. You're gonna get that another abusive dude or another abusive work relationship or another like lame thing that happens. So it's one of those like when you wake up in a grumpy mood and then you stub your toe and then you lock your keys in the car and then you have a bad day and then you have a fight with somebody. It's because of your mind. It's like you're really magnetizing it to you. And so me personally, mine was you ugly piece of crap. You ugly piece of crap. You ain't worth nothing, right? Because I was never chosen or wanted as a kid. So you deserve someone nice. That would be me. Thank you, Heath. And I am nice and I'm very nice to myself now. Thank you. And so I switched it and I was like, what? How can you switch it? And this is something that Stay would probably do. Say, I'm fine. Right? No, it has to be dramatically different. And you got to write it down and you got to say it out loud. So I went from what's the complete opposite, like dramatically opposite. Like for y'all fellas, like I am king and master of my own domain. I got a big old, even if you don't, doesn't matter. It's a feeling, right? So mine was I'm a goddess. Like and the first times you say something opposite of what the negative thing you've been telling yourself, it does feel weird and you think you're lying. Because you're lying to yourself. That's what mindset is. That's what mindset work is. You're lying. So like, I'm a lie right now. I'm a goddess. And my brain was like, God, like literally, I have like little, anybody feel me? Like this, you took birth control at a young age. I was on birth control when I was 16. Oh my God, let's go into that. I got these little hairs that grow on my chin. They're mortifying. And it's like, it's horrible when you forget one. And then you're like, oh, and then you're in a meeting like this all day. You're like, I'm just going to stay like this because I forgot that one or I'm going to die now. I'm dying. I'm dead right now. Actually, I died. So you're seeing the ghost of me because I have 4 hairs right here and I'm just going to keep, hi everyone. Hi. And so in my brain, I was like, you can't be no goddess. Goddesses don't have beards. And then I have to catch it, like, because you will have that, which is actually what we're going to get into the next phase. when Would you say right? May as well tell yourself a constructive lie versus a demonizing one. Yes, it's like you switch the lie, right? And we'll learn how the next phase of this workbook is learning how to use the sword to cut the negative thought patterns. So I'll skip ahead. So like you have a sword, right? You have a sword in your mind. When a negative thought pattern comes up, you can just, and so I was like, okay, goddesses don't have beards. And it was like, okay, how do I switch that into, hey, listen, we could grow it. We could grow it and put a bead in it. I mean, we could identify as a bearded lady. No, I'm gonna get rid of it. But the point is, like, stopping. Hey, soul. Good morning, Vietnam. The point is stopping that pattern of negative thought patterns by replacing it with something totally different. I chose I'm a goddess because I never, ever would have thought that. Because I'd be like, goddess, no, you're a piece of crap, girl. Ain't nobody wants you. And so I chose I'm a goddess. And then look at my life. Like look at my website, which is a hot mess. I'm working on it, y'all. Judge all you want. I have so many things, just like many of you do. So I'm cleaning up my own stuff and letting you totally see behind the scenes. And my behind the scenes went from I'm a piece of crap. I can't came over from YouTube. I love you, Mindy. See, I came over from YouTube too because because isn't TikTok better looking? It doesn't even, I don't even have a filter on here, but I've got a light over there and there's something to do with the light. And on TikTok, it looks good. I just love it. I'm just like, so Angela comes to YouTube. I mean, wait, leaves YouTube and goes, listen, YouTube, we're going to work it out. We're going to work things out. I was lonely over there. There's one. It's like, I love, like, I've got 1,000 followers on YouTube and I got like 20,000 on TikTok. TikTok loves you more. Why do you keep cheating on TikTok and going over to YouTube? TikTok loves you more because you get, this is why, because you get censored, banned, suspended, in trouble, shut down. So I've decided, and I'm working on just being everywhere. You'll see a lot of me. Like I'm putting more on my Facebook and putting more. I got to rumble because part of me, my negative thought patterns is hiding, right? I hid just like, cause I mean, why? Hi. And I love it when you meet each other. Awesome. Mine was hiding because like, if you're a piece of crap, worthless piece of crap, you're going to hide, right? A goddess does not hide. And so as I have come for many, many years, I've been doing this work. And you can go to my website and see pictures of me like goddess, like, and then as a goddess, I was given a sword for my work, my humanitarian work in Greece. And I was given 3 crowns. Like I'm a crowned sword owning, like actual legit, like knight sword owning goddess for real. And my nickname is Queen. I was nicknamed Queen in Burning Man. Like I have boys literally lined up, like men in their 20s who are like, I want to serve you. I love you. I mean, it's like, yeah, I have all that. It doesn't really resonate with me, I appreciate it and I love it. And it is all connected with changing my thought patterns in my brain. Hey, Maine. Hey, Maine. I love Maine. My adopted daddy has a house in Maine, Rockland, Maine. It's so fun. So you replace your negative thought patterns with the positive ones, and you got to go so different. You got to go like completely polar opposite. Like for example, let's use stay as an example. Who cares about me? I'm not even a divine spark of spirit. Well, yeah, you are because you're living. You're a living being. So you are a spiritual being and you are completely connected. You are spirit. What if hers was, I am God? I know some people are like, don't say that. But I'm just like, I am the great one. I am the infinite. Her negative thought pattern is going to fight that girl. Is going to be like, no, you're not. No, you're not. No, you're not. And that is the work. That is the work of what you're doing to yourself in your brain. And things like alcohol and benzos and all the stuff that we put and the abusive relationships and all the stuff we put on it to agree with our negative thought pattern adds to it. So it's like if you're laying on the floor drunk and repeated patterns of drunkenness that's adding to your negative thought patterns. Go back to where we started today and write a letter to that, and write a goodbye letter to that. And in many ways, appreciate it. I know it makes no sense, and but it does make all the sense in the world. Kind of like me doing this work and the fact that I will go biking later for an hour and then I'm going to ride a unicycle too. Like, it all applies to, it makes no sense. And I'm going to explain that. When I've been watching these men, and I watch men for a reason, because we need men in this world big time, and men are drastically being devalued as women are being erased. And that is a systematic ploy that is planted in us by organized perpetrators. It has nothing to do with the red versus the blue in your political little arguments. It goes way above that. It is an organized perpetrators who are intentionally doing this so that way they separate us, so that you're in pain and alone and just a product. Just like that Excel, it's 100% attacking humanity. And now, if you can't see that now, I would invite you to really step back and look at a wider lens and start really looking at who put that out, who put that idea in the global brain. Because people that are holding signs and like in the fight against each other, whatever it is, you could take whatever, the male versus female, all this, the little fight, those tend to be victim addicts, okay, that are ruled by perpetrators because they're blindly poisoned. So that person, the person that's like, I hate you. Oh my God, I can't believe it. Oh my God, you hate men, or you hate women. Or you can't say that, or what? I mean, literally, whatever. If you will look at that person and just take that person, what are they eating? How poisoned are they? And as soon as they are going to be depoisoned and wean themselves off of the poison of the food, number one, and then work on their mindset, then have a conversation with them. Because you can't have a conversation with a poison person who's a victim addict. It's just honestly a waste of time. It's a waste of time. So you can just love them up. You can show them pathways. You can give them escape routes, but you got to just, like, y'all, we need to rise together and rise collectively. Those of us who are awake and getting better. It is so sad to watch, but you can't spend the time, honestly, cannot spend the time on that. No time on it. Because we need to elevate and expand faster. And did I really win an Emmy? Yes, I have it. Not here, but I won an Emmy for Safe Side Super Chick. It's very funny. You should see it. I'm starting to share those on my TikTok too. They're so fun. Cream rises to the top. Love them up. Seriously. And you love them up because we are elevated and expanding. And the victim addicts will be inspired by what you're doing, but you can't go do it for them. You got to do your own work. I had a great therapist in Los Angeles for years. I still talk to him when I go to LA because he can also see the other side. Like, he's a bonus therapist who can also see dead people. It's like real cool when he's like, oh, look who showed up with you today. I love that stuff. And he said something powerful to me one time when I was trying to save a girl out of human trafficking. And it's a whole story. Short cliff notes is we did save her, and her perpetrator, who was part of a big ring, came to my house. Okay. So I have seen the devil. I got more than once, and both of the more than onces were high up people in the Sound of Freedom movie kind of thing. Like, so I'm not going to say words on here, but Sound of Freedom is true. And I have seen the perpetrator, and you're looking at the devil. You are straight up looking at the devil. Okay. And I tried to save one. Okay. And my therapist, who can see dead people, which is amazing, in LA, he said something really powerful to me. He's like, okay, imagine that so I'm telling you this, imagine that you are on a country road, and those of us who love the country roads, you're winding around, you got a good groove, you're going down the country road, and a bird, little baby bird or whatever, baby, one-eyed, one-winged. I actually had a video on my TikTok of me and Jesus were walking, and we found a little one-eyed, one-winged bird. right? And I filmed it just to see some nature, film some nature world. And a lot of people were like, oh my God, you didn't, not, there was not a lot of people. There's a handful. They were like, you're a horrible person. You didn't pick up that bird. And I'm like, listen to me. I ain't picking up no one-eyed, one-winged bird laying in a gutter. I ain't doing it. You can do that. I ain't touching that thing. I might film it from afar and see what happens. So the therapist said, imagine you are going down a country road and you are going to save the flock. What you have, look what I got. I have powder gold and I'm going to save the flock. And or whatever that is. I got powder gold right here. I got powder gold right here. I got gold here. I got gold here. I am gold. And I'm going to save the flock by bringing myself and my goods, run over the bird. Just like when you hit a deer, you got to run right over it. You don't swerve because you're going to die. You don't stop and pick it up because you'll miss the flock. And that is a distraction and intentionally set there to stop you. And I know that's like, but wait, we love everybody. We're going to save everybody. If you stopped and tried to save everybody, and those of you who work in trauma-informed care know what the hell I'm talking about. If you stop to save the person, you'll die. It's just like the drowning people, I mean, they teach you that. Don't get in and don't let them hold on to you. You leave them pathways. Think of it like you're fishing and you throw in a fishing line and you do a gold nugget. Like as you pass by like, maybe not, it goes right under your tires. You didn't kill it. It's still alive, but throw out some crumbs, throw out a piece of bread. And so it'll live and it can on its own time. It might take 25 years, but that little bird will make it maybe, but that's not your problem because you're going for the flock. Does that make sense? So it's like, I know it sounds harsh because it's like, but wait, that hurt. You better stop and pick that up. No, that was intentionally put there to distract you, right? What are you saying, Heath? Prophets in the Bible hear a voice in their head. It's called schizophrenic medically. You know what's funny is that is also true in because I've experienced that where the healthier that you become and the more connected. I just started this. Let's just see where this takes me, and I invite you to do it with me. Regenerate at theoneinnashville.com to actually heal the brain along with what? Hold on, Soshan. I'm gonna come back and then I gotta jump off here real fast. But so when we are, where was I? The schizophrenic thing. Heath, as you get better and more elevated, like you get out of the poison, first of all, you got to stop being poisoned with your food, number one. And then start like clearing up your brain. And as you do that, your spiritual life gets on point. And as your spiritual life like gets more in tune and your prayers manifest faster and you're manifesting and like your life emanates healing and awareness and your love grows, you will have people that tell you you're too much. The light that you bring into the room, they don't say this, but they're like, you're too much. I can't handle you. You have a lot of energy. You got a lot of you should be on meds. You should be on meds. And I was like, and that is again intentionally put together because for example, one therapist, when I went to see my mom and my mom's therapist, who we then fired, it was funny. I hadn't seen her in a while and I was giving her an update and I'm like, oh, I haven't seen you in a while, but I got divorced. It's been rough. It's been extremely stressful. I had millions of dollars stolen from my films from a fraudulent distributor who I worked with the FBI to put him in prison. And I helped save 27 other filmmakers. That's like on the set. That's like on Tuesday. What were you doing last? You mean, I got the FBI on my phone. I am like, the stress is like here but I'm still doing my work here. And this has come together balance. Like I try to always live in the balance with my spiritual life, with me trying. Oh God, y'all, you're going to hold my hand during this yoga thing. I mean, seriously. So I've got my body on, I've got my eating on, I've got the regenerate, which I'm going to tell you about, Mindy. And I'm like I'm balancing my body health and my mind health, and definitely my spiritual health comes first. And my spiritual health is like on point. Like I and always growing, like you're never like, I'm good with God. Like it's a daily practice for me. I do meditation all day long. I don't believe in like, let's sit in meditation for 15 minutes or 20 minutes once a day. No, I use every opportunity. That's why I like doing dishes. I do dishes because it's a meditation for me. That's why I like biking. That's why I got a unicycle. Every single thing I do in my life, I look at as a meditation. So I'm and so I was saying that, like, I feel good. I'm finding balance. And she's looking at me, staring at me. She's like, well, you do have a lot of energy. And it's like, so you're sad, so you cry, and you're happy. I think you need to be on meds. Oh, you need to be poisoned by the people who are intentionally poisoning you? I was like, listen, I did my science fair project when I was 12. I know how this works. This is a trap. And instead of saying like, but I don't want to, but I don't, blah, 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 I just said, really, how's that working for you? Because everybody's talking to themselves. And the therapist says, oh, I can't start my day, much less get out of bed without my anxiety meds. And I said, you're fired. And I just like, it's like, you need to get off of the poison, people. And you got to see where the poison is coming from. I got so sick that people tell me that. Yeah, it's insane. Like, like I would love it to have more friends. And I do have a lot of friends that are fully, your heart is open. We might read something or do something or witness a miracle and we're going to cry. We might, I came across a couple perpetrators and I will lay your ass out. I kicked a perpetrator out of a cafe, walked him all the way out the street up against the wall, never touched him, but I filmed it for the cops. And yeah, you saw my angry side. Yeah, that's right. As I am full human, I got anger, I got sadness, I got like whatever all the emotions are. And like, instead of covering that with meds and with more and more poison that is intentionally put there to keep you as a peasant, it's a lot of peas. The organized perpetrators are poisoning you so that you stay as a peasant. It's real freaking simple, people. And I mean, seriously, I came off of meds and got insomnia. Listen, try this. Okay, I'll just cut. You can do what you want, but there's been 2 items. First of all, let me sum this up first. This workbook is every single thing I have ever done in my life in the healing work. Every single thing, from the shamans to the therapist to the EMDR, all of it goes down to, what are you saying to yourself in your head? Done. There it is. And that's free, y'all. That's free. You're welcome. So what are you saying to yourself in your head? When it is negative, you got to cut it out. You have to cut it out. It's like your job. And I will be a drill sergeant with that. I have no patience, and because it's wasting time to stay in that, well, I ain't nothing. I guess you don't like me. I ain't nothing. And all you say is, yeah, you're right. You're right. You're right. That's right. That's right. Because that's like staying stunted, right? And then you can live like that. That's the thing. You can live like that for the rest of your life. I personally think it's very boring, but it's like, what's his YouTube called? He is the one in Nashville. You wish that Luke came in pints. It's coming, y'all. It's coming. That is what I've been working with his assistants on, because I came in as like, because I'm a filmmaker and I'm kind of snobby and I like things real pretty. And I was like, can this have different packaging? Can I help you? No. And a series of like little 4-pack, little short ones that are flavored. I'm like, so all of this is happening in the background. I mean, it doesn't happen fast enough for me, but neither does my healing. I'm 50, y'all. I'm 50. And so I've been doing this work for a very long time, the mindset work. Now I'll lead into Sean. He was my missing link for the body work. Because like I said, I've been following really amazing men and seeing, what are you doing with your time and what are you eating? And this is what I have learned. They are spending, these amazing men, I know, I look 40. I had somebody who was trying to get in my pants tell me I looked like I was 27. I was like, shoo, you might win. Anyway, so I've been watching these fellas, right? Here's the answer. Here's the missing. Here's what I have learned. And they did not tell me these things. I've been watching them and literally monitoring their calendar. And I know Sean, he's my favorite one. I know him very well. I also stay in his house. I also spend a lot of time with him. And I monitor his calendar. I'm like, this time he gets up at 4 a.m. He does this. 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 I mean, okay. And he's not the only one. The guys that I've been following, they all do this. It is 3 to 6 hours, y'all. 3 to 6 hours of body, mind, spirit maintenance. I'm not going to say self-love and self-care because I look at it like I think more in my masculine brain is like body, mind, spirit maintenance. So that's your yoga class. That's they go on cold plunges. None of them are in therapy. That they do like healing, which tells you a lot. Talk therapy is so yesterday. Anyway, I don't want to take it away from you. Do it if it works for you. God bless you. But they're doing body, mind, spirit maintenance. It might be their prayer work, their meditation work, their cold plunges. They're sitting in hyperbaric oxygen chambers. They're doing saunas. They're all the things that are body, mind, spirit maintenance. 3 to 6 hours every day. Every day. That's what, like, I'm like, what did you do? When? Why? How? And here's the difference. It's non-negotiable. Because I personally, and I know that many women tend to have this with them, is that it'll be negotiable. My time on that has been 100% negotiable, especially after having a kid, especially after having a senior mother who blows up your phone. I mean, I love you, Mom, but it's like, for God's sakes, right? And she's been so good lately, and I got her some Regenerate too. We're gonna see what happens. And so, how can you spend 3 to 6 hours? Usually the guys who have the 6-hour days, it's not every day. It's because they have extra appointments or something. They might have like physical therapy, or they might have, which is still applies, or they might do a retreat or something like that. But it's 3 hours minimum. That means like say an hour and a half in the morning, hour and a half in the evening, however you break it up. This is what I've been practicing, and it's working, and it makes no logical sense to me because I am a workaholic. I am the one that's going to be up at, 4 a.m, go to bed at 2, but I'm doing everything for you. I'm picking up the one-eyed, one-winged birds and putting them into the, buckets as I go to help save the flock. And I did not put myself on that calendar because I was like, I have a ginormous task list. My task list is like, it makes my brain hurt. I show it to an assistant and they're like, whoa, how did you do all this by yourself? I'm like, I'm not. And here's the thing I've learned. The fellas are doing it that it's non-negotiable. The women do it that it's totally negotiable. So that's like, what have we been doing wrong? It's non-negotiable because we seem like a jerk, because we seem like a bitch, right? And it is like, I just met an amazing man. I mean, amazing man. Yes, Jerome, you are an amazing man. God bless you. I love it. Thank you for doing this. So fun. And he's got a ride out there. God, I love him so much. So that is his maintenance. So Sean, here's where the fellows are smart. They have integrated their body, mind, spirit maintenance into their businesses. So Sean, when he rides for 2 hours, that applies to the 6 hours. And these are not something these guys have told me. This is my own analysis. And I'm like, so that's 4 hours because he does 2 a day, and he might have another rider do it. He might do it himself. But even if he just does 1 a day, that's 2 hours. And then he sits in a hyperbaric oxygen chamber, and then he does a meditation, and then he does yoga, and then he does physical therapy. And here's me. How in the living hell do you do that and shit, shower, and shave? How? And also, like, we had dinner, and also you own 3 businesses, and also you make this that's amazing that changed my life. I don't understand how the hell. And I'm telling you right now, it doesn't make any sense to me. And I have been applying it in my own life, and it still doesn't make any sense to me. It's a catch 22. When I have been doing this, here's the crazy thing, I get more done. Uh, I just don't understand. I don't understand. So, like when you've actually put yourself on the schedule for your body, mind, and spirit maintenance, you get more done. I don't understand. I know I don't understand. And so it makes no sense to me because I'm the one that's like, well, I can't go and do my body, mind, and spirit because I still have 15 things on my task list. But here's the thing. When you do the body, mind, spirit stuff, like for real, that's non-negotiable. Then when you come to your task list, you're more present, you're faster, and you're more productive. And you're not having a panic and anxiety attack that can take an hour. You're not spending the time on the phone wasting time, or you're not spending the time picking up that one-legged bird or one-eyed-ball bird because it's a waste of time and it's not on your task list. It is just like, just don't sit down. Yeah, so this is where I have learned myself. This is also why I go live every day now too, because this applies to my 3 to 6 hours. Because this is also my meditation work too. It's like my service work, and also I'm sharing. That's my service work, and also it's good for me because I have a fear of going live. Pressing the little live button makes me take a dookie. Like you can give me a microphone, you can hand me a microphone and 1,000 people on the stage, and I am gonna love it. And I literally could just wing it. I don't do that, but every time, but but I have no fear with that. That would be fun. You'll have the time of your life. Hand Angela a microphone and put her in front of thousands of people. But live on social medias, what? Like it just, I'm like, like just pressing the button makes me want to take a dookie. You know what I'm saying? And does anybody else share that? I'm like, oh no. And so that's why I love TikTok. You have and YouTube. I know there's nobody over here. I love you. Ah, I love it. I love all y'all. So I'm masculine too, more visual. Yeah. Like I'm like, give me a like break it down. Break it down in tasks. What do we do now? You know? And then as I've been applying this, I've also been really working on my body health so that my body health matches my mindset health. Cause I got that on, I'm good. I mean, there's always stuff we can do. There's always more layers of healing to do, but I feel that I'm like, I'm good. I'm like, I'm in a good spot. Now let's get the body on. And of course, what do? I go by a unicycle because I'm batshit, listen. So in the body, mind, spirit, my body changes have been the most dramatic by listening to the advice, not putting on a pedestal. There's no guru thing. He's a dude. He's a really, really cool dude. Like I'm a really cool lady. And he just happens to be a master at concoctions. He really is. And I'm a master at like giving you escape routes that are funny. I'll be the funny, fun one. Sean, it is the one in Nashville, has created this. It's a powder. It's a freaking this rah. It's a powder that he's been helping people get off of alcohol and benzodiazepine addicts. Like, and I know them. I've seen this. They do just this jar. It's about 1 month, and they're completely off of alcohol addiction. And you're like, what'd you say? And I've seen it. And this is like magnesiums. It's nice. It makes, there's some after effects. It'll make you hot. And when you, because it's a cleanse too, you might dookie and you'll feel like hot for a couple minutes and then that goes away. And it feels kind of like high without being high and drunk without being drunk. That's the only way I could describe it. And I was like, okay, I'm not an addict like that, but I'm a trauma survivor. And addicts have that negative thought pattern that we just talked about today on repeat. That's why you're boozing. That's why you're popping the pills, right? So I'm like, I was a self-mutilator and self-hater, and I still have those lingering thoughts, right? They're still there. They're not like I have done the work to cut them out, but I was like, how about actually working on the actual brain? And I was like, if you're helping that many addicts, it would also help trauma survivors. So I was the first one. I'm the first one to have it. And they're shipping now. And he's only got 30 of these. And y'all, I mean, heal the brain. And so what happened for me personally when I took it, I did get hot and it flushed. It's called flushing. It kind of like my skin got like prickly hot for about 5 minutes. And it's like, whoo, depending on how much you take, I took 1 teaspoon. And then there's this euphoria feeling. This is not drugs either. It's a combo of GABA that heals your brain. It's like GABA, and it's his concoction. You could do this yourself, but I've seen him make, I mean, good luck with that because you'd have to know his concoction. It's all like magnesiums, blood simulators to get GABA in your brain fast. That's why you get hot. And you can listen to him talk about it. I've shot a lot of videos with him that I now have given to editors so that they'll do it for his website and make it really simple because I want it. I want like, can you explain that to me? Step 1. What'd you say? Can you say it like you're talking to a 3-year-old? Because I don't understand what you said, you know? And I was also looking at how hot your butt looks in those pants. I mean, I'm sorry. I was. So could you say that again? So this gets GABA in your brain real fast. But what it did for me as a trauma survivor, I feel clear. Like, it's like, that's why it's like doing drugs without doing drugs. It's like that. It's like high without being high, drunk without being drunk. But it's like that calm. It was like an immense calm. And for me personally, it made me cry. Like I just, and you know why? Because I have a big, giant heartbreak that I'd never actually purged or like just processed. And I got a lot of them. Anybody have that? And I just literally, yeah, niacin. It's got niacin in it. Yeah, you're right. And then that's part of what flushes the skin. And yeah, for me, I'm so curious to see what you experience. For me, I done cried, and then I took it again, and I cried again. And he's like, "How's it working for you?" I was like, "I'm crying." And he said, like he's so calm. He's like, that's also why I call him Jesus, because he looks like Jesus, or what we think, my own personal vision of Jesus, he looks like. And he's like, he's so calm. That's because he's not taking a generate right now, but it's funny to me. He's like, you should just let it out. And that's what I preach. Like, that's what I tell too. Like, just stop judging it. Just let it out. So I was just walking around here crying, drinking milk. What's Angela doing today? Crying, drinking milk. What are you doing? Raw milk. So I wonder if it affects your pineal gland. Girl, I don't know. I think this affects the whole body. So this is Regenerate. It's on his website, theoneinnashville.com. It's also on lute.life, LUTE.life. His lute, which I've talked about many times, it looks like a bottle of wine, and it is it's meant to be a mixer to not drink alcohol. And it's like when you're with your friends, you can use lute and have a way better time than your friends. You know what I'm saying? It does have hemp in it. This does not. This actually this got me more lifted, but it doesn't have any of that stuff in it. It's like, it like opens your brain. Like, I was like, wow, this is some powerful stuff right here. I'm going to share it with my mama. And I said, we don't know what Jesus looked like. Exactly. You don't know what Jesus looked like. He was like, side note about what does Jesus look like. My favorite author is Tom Robbins. He wrote Skinny Legs and All and Still Life with a Woodpecker. And he has one of the books where he goes over like what Jesus looked like. And he was a short, hairy Jew. So funny. So he didn't look like any of that, what we think. That's our American version, the long hair and the pretty and the blue eyes. Like, he probably didn't have blue eyes. Like, so, that's my own version of Jesus. I like it. And it makes me feel good. I like it. And by the way, side note, I do have a P.O. box. Okay. It's in New York. And I absolutely love light up Jesuses. Like, I have a thing. And if it's a Jesus and it lights up, just send it to me, please. If you see it, or if you're somewhere along the 81, I go north to south twice a month. I'll come pick it up. Like, I love me some light up Jesus. I love it. Doesn't matter. Could be a statue, could be a picture. I like those ones that's a hologram that changes. That's like when you walk by it changes. I just love it. And again, we don't know what he looks like. But my Jesus, I am a lover of Jesus personally, but not in the dogma of the church by any stretch. I have my own you can ask me anything, I'll tell you the truth. Might blow your mind, but my personal Jesus, Sean, who looks like Jesus, is my health expert. I mean, when my kid is sick, I call him. I don't call my doctor. I call him. Hey, she's got this thing. Blah blah blah. What do you do? First of all, stop eating sugar and get off of all the colors. Stop poisoning your brain. Yeah, Interstate 81. Yeah, I go down it twice a month. Yeah, from Nashville to New York. If you're along that highway, you can stand along the side and hold a sign that says, I love you, Angela. My plan, what I really personally want to do, I know it seems weird because you're like, why would you want to do that? I'm like, because it's fun, because I'm always on the road and I'm a road tripper and I'm a camper. I want one of those awesome, like big vans that you can also live in. Like, I don't need to live in it. I have a house, but it's like, to be comfortable and it just be filled with loot and regenerate. Like it's your loot. It's your on the road loot, regenerate Jesus bus. Like, and so I can come to like, I can stop in like say Salem, Virginia or something and meet, and we can do a little meetup. Come on in, hang out at the bus. I could pop one of those little camping tents. I freaking love it. That is so up my alley. People who don't love it don't get it, but literally put me barefoot in a camping site and I am happy. I'll be grilling up steaks and we can do some loot and regenerate. I mean, Roanoke, Virginia, seriously. I mean, I pass it twice a month. And it's like, I can start to do that. I've been putting it in my head instead of like zooming past I prefer to take the side roads. I much prefer not the highway, but I do it because it, takes me 14 hours. But that's my plan I'm toying with that. So Greg, if you're in Roanoke, I'm like, and if you would like to like have a meetup, I'm like, we could do like a little loot meetup. What about serving samples of Regenerate? Yeah. Hey, Kitty, where do you live? I have it right here in my hand. I'm leaving Sunday. So I'm like, So I am, I'm toying with that idea of how to do that because I definitely want to do that because I come to Nashville once a month. That means I do the trip and I'm not flying because I can't fly with this. And I need my milk. So if you have a dairy farm, if you have a dairy farmer near you that I can get raw milk, let's go. Let's go. I'll meet you at your house. You can have some Regenerate. I'll get some milk. We'll talk about healing your whole community, starting with yourself. And then we'll dance. Does that sound fun? That sounds like total fun to me. That sounds like awesome. And the thing is what I learned in Greece. I went on this awesome trip to Greece, and I was around a lot of powerful women, and also, oh my God, women just do not shut up. It's unbelievable the talking. I just was like, oh my God. And I just stayed silent for the most part and just observed. And I realized it was like literally October 2022. I realized, and I saw it. Everyone's talking to themselves. So when you you don't want to do that. You don't want to climb a mountain barefoot. You don't want to swim in that cold water. No, you don't want to climb that. You don't want to do that. You don't want to, no, you're the one that doesn't want to. I totally want to do that. Give me a stick shift, barefoot, go to a new town, new country. I freaking love it. Pull over at like a campsite. I'll put up the tents. Here's what I want. I want my boyfriend back. That like starts the fire. You know what I mean? Got the fire going, got the bike set up. I'm like, yeah, that and then is my driver. That's not an ad. That is not an ad for an application. I really am not available that way. Unless it's some dang miracle, which is really funny. And I know I get it. Like I get people like I bartended and did hair 20 years and I heard I'm sure. Exactly. The bartender is your therapist and your hairstylist is your therapist. So you were like double therapist. She has heard everything. Kitty knows everything. Any time spent with you would be fun. Oh, yes. It's my Molly Shannon reference. Greg, yay. So yeah, something I'm thinking about that. Also, I can do meetups with men, and not that way. I realize that I cross many, many lines, especially with what I say. But the stuff I have for men is really powerful, and men are getting really devalued at an accelerated rate. And I have a lot of great stuff for men. I finally am working on my book that is specifically for men. It just started yesterday, the design of it. So that's coming. I'm like, and honestly, all of this is happening because I started to do what the men are doing that are amazing ahead of me. So I went with the ones that are ahead of me, not the ones that are like, well, you're going to pick that one up, right? You're going to get that one up. And uh, they are 3 to 6 hours a day. And it makes absolutely no dang sense. And as I get healthier in my body and I'm doing regenerate, I don't even have loot. I would love my own loot. It's literally impossible for me to not totally adore your energy. Yes, it is. I'm glad that you say these things. I'm glad that you say these things. Are you gonna be Clyde half-assed? Like, I appreciate you. Yeah. And there are people like myself who are vivacious and energetic and the life of the party, that are also completely hot messes and depressed and drunk when they close the door, right? That's not me. I am one face. That's also why I got a unicycle, so it's one wheel. Like, what you see is what you get. If I'm upset, I'm gonna cry right here. You know what I mean? If I'm mad, I'm just gonna be mad. I will tell you everything I'm mad at. It is the Screen Actors Guild in Hollywood. I hate them. Like, I don't want to use the hate because I'm trying to like be all lovey, but oh my god, just burn Hollywood to the ground. Just light a fire and hate burn the whole thing down. Is this just a bunch of perpetrators? I'm just like, oh my god, oh my god. So that's how I'm living. I have been that, and I stopped on stage. The one when I created this, when the vision of this workbook came to me in my home state of North Carolina. I've told that story before, but here I go repeating myself. When I had the vision of the sword, like I had like this like energetic spiritual vision of it that led to me going back to my hotel and like writing the whole thing down. I was lying to myself, and I was lying to you, and I was a hypocrite for that moment, because I was telling this lady who was a beautiful young girl who was a self-mutilator. I was telling her like how she shouldn't self-mutilate, she shouldn't do that because she's amazing and she has purpose in life that's beyond her pain. And I was like, oh my god, you're talking to yourself because you just did that last night. And that was my like, oh, I can't do it because I can't stand it. I can't stand the hypocrites. I can't stand the frauds and the cons. That was my dad. My dad is a con artist times 5,000. And I can't stand that. So I'm going to just open the book. You know what I mean? Like, here, I will. That's also why I have my spicy link. That's like when people are like, oh my God, you have a spicy link? Oh my God, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm healing men. That's what I'm doing. And sometimes they get to see things. And you know what? I'm fine with that because it has a deeper intention. So I decided to show everything, because by doing that, we heal at like accelerated rate. And also, I ain't got no secrets. I'm like, first of all, I could never run for office. I could never run for office because I have done everything and everyone. I'd be like, remember Bill Clinton? Like, I never inhaled and I never had sex with that woman. I really did have sex with that woman that one time in Paris, and I inhaled everything. And so I'm like, I mean, and so what you're going to get with me is radical honesty, and some people can't handle it. So it's like, okay, but people are talking to themselves, aren't you? Yes, you are. Yes, you are. I got no poker face, right? Oh my God, the documentary. It's like, this is Clyde. Half ass. He doesn't like anybody else but me. If somebody else shows up, he goes like this. He's my baby. I love Clyde. He's Clyde half ass. He represents all the boys in their 20s that love me. Yeah, he's just like, yeah, Clyde, half-ass. He is mean. He's a mean donkey to everybody else but me. So you got to just know that about Clyde. And then you got Timothy. Y'all, I didn't bring my other pup. I only have Timothy, Clyde. I have Ron here. Ron's here. Only friends on my TikTok can name the puppets. But we don't got no puppets to name today. We don't have any puppets to name. What happened to you? What happened to you? You came in upside down. This is like, when your negative thought patterns, your life is like upside down. I just stuck my hand in them upside down. This is really appropriate. Like, and I will leave you with this story. Okay. Hey, Ron, do you want your belly rub? Is that what you wanted? Yeah. So once I get home next week, I will let you name some more puppets and I will leave you with this story. Ready? So I have biggest fears. Everybody has biggest fears. One of my biggest fears is crocodiles, or are crocodiles. Crocodiles scare the ever living bejesus out of me. You can send me perpetrators all day long. I will kick their fannies. I'll kick them ass. But show me a crocodile, and I'm going to frozen in fear, scream, you name it. Crocodiles scare the living bejesus out of me. And so I was, and bed bugs and crocodiles. Go figure. Those are my two big, like, oh God, oh God, oh God, oh God. So I was walking one day and having this whole conversation with myself. Fear of crocodiles will keep you alive. Sandra, the mother of Clyde, half-ass. Hey, mommy. The only one he likes, because you named him Clyde half-ass. So anyway, I was walking along, and I'm going to put it upside down again. That was really funny. I was walking along having this conversation. Hi, baby. Exactly. He's my baby. I'll put him on this other hand. So I was walking along having a conversation with myself, like I am apt to do, right? And I was talking to myself about our biggest fears and like what we all fear and like what's mine? What's my biggest fear? I'm facing them. We're getting over hurdles. And in this walk, I experienced every possible weather condition. It was about 1 hour. It was a beautiful, bright spring day. And then it started to pour down rain. And then it was like light showers. And then it was hail. Like hail came out of nowhere. And I was like, wow, you're just getting hit with everything today, right? And I get to the end of my walk. I walk up these stairs and I come into, like as I come up the stairs, there's this big giant TV on. And what is on the TV? Crocodiles. And I'm like, really? Oh, like you're just facing every single fear you ever had in your life. Yeah. So I had baggage on, which is funny because like we all got our baggage, and I sat down like with my bag, and I was like, oh my God. No, I stood there and I was like, for real? Like I come into crocodiles. Is this for real? Like, God, what are you saying about this? And literally on the TV, it goes, when the crocodiles are mating. And I was like, what'd you say? And it was like, when the crocodiles are mating. And here I was with my bag, and I sat down. I was like, what? Like, you got my attention. And so here's the crocodile, right? I got to turn you right. Mating. Here's the man. The male, right? Scary as hell. I'm just like, oh my God, this is going to be terrible. I don't know. Why am I watching this? Because it said, when the crocodiles are mating. And here's female, right? Here's female. Hey. This is not his name is Ron. He was, hey. So here's you're going to be a female, right? It's going to be like America. So here's the female. This is what she does. She gets in the man is circling her. The male is circling her. The female is like, she doesn't go, bitch, please. It's going to be a fight. I'm going to kill you. No, she goes under the water like this. She goes straight up and down, like not like this. She goes straight up and down and puts her nose right at the edge of the water, and goes like this. And blows bubbles for this male. And he's circling her going, baby, I love you, Bubbles. You're so cute. You're so cute. You're so cute. And I fell in love with my biggest fear. Right there. I was like, I love my biggest fear now. Now I'm like, so I invite you to put that in your head. Like when you have a big fear about your life, like what's your biggest fear? I'm just going to tell you. So like, I mean, it was just so, it was a perfect day for me because it was like I went through every single weather condition known to man, and hot, cold, hail, rain, sleet, what's happening, and then faced with my biggest fear. But when the crocodiles are mating, here's what they do. And I'm like, oh my God. It's just so I just want to leave you with that. So I know we're talking about some heavy stuff. I know I bring up the worst fears imaginable. I am talking about domestic violence, child sexual abuse, torture. Like, oh shit, don't fucking cancel me. I gotta be real careful. Yeah, it's terrible. It's scary. It's frightening. It's horrible. It's disastrous. It's so scary, right? And also, it's amazing and it's fun. You can have fun in the face of the fear, and that's what I do. And now I'm going to take some of this. I might cry. We'll see. I'll let you know. I'll let you know how my day goes. And I'm packing up and I'm going to the next level, figuratively and literally. And I'm regenerating and showing you how I do it. And you know what? It's scary sometimes. I hate that Stay left because this was very relevant for her. And it's like when you're laying on the ground and you are in that space, when you're like, I don't feel nothing. I'm not a divine spark of spirit. I can never get there. I mean, I'm 30 years into doing this work or something, right? What are we at, Jackie? Like some 20 something years. And it's like, I can't do it anymore. I don't know how to do it. Blah, 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 blah. Sometimes you just lay on the floor and just go, seriously, right? Okay, generate working. Right. I'm so excited. Love your work. Save Side Super Chick. Yay. I keep DMing her. She didn't. The thing is you just love them up because you're stuck. That's what it is. You're stuck in that space. I believe we've all been there who've been through trauma, right? Where you don't want to hear it. And it goes to that platter thing. You can present somebody with healing and joy and like a joyful life, or you can give them a payment plan of pain for the rest of your life. Sadly, most people are going to take the payment plan for pain, and it makes no sense. Just like this makes no sense. So it's like what you choose. I don't know how it's working. I don't know how the fact that I've committed to 3 to 6 hours of my own body, mind, spirit maintenance, which you are included in this. You're included in that. I don't know how it's working. I don't know how this is helping me do all my tasks list. I genuinely don't know. It's actually kind of blowing my mind a little bit, but it's working. I mean, look at me, look at you. I mean, this is fun, right? It's fun. And now we will sing. I mean, I'm playing the violin, y'all. I have a violin over there. I busted 2 strings last night because I was crying. Just kidding. I'm going to play you the tiniest little violin. It's just your trauma is so big that I got the big one. So I love you. Oh, and I appreciate you. And I hope this was helpful. And I love you. Look, we turn off YouTube first.